Hey porter, would you tell me the time? How much longer will it be till we cross that Mason-Dixon line? At daylight, would you tell that engineer to slow it down? No, better still, just stop the train, 'cause I wanna look around. Hey guys, today's lesson is going to be on Luther Perkins style of guitar playing. I hope you enjoyed that little intro. I actually sing all the Johnny Cash stuff in Sun Rising. The songs that made Memphis were a show that do an extensive catalogue of the Sun Records stuff. So I've had a fair bit of experience playing Luther Perkins stuff / Johnny Cash stuff. And I have been really looking forward to breaking down his guitar playing. Obviously not the most complex player, but that doesn't mean the things that he does, or did I should say, weren't absolutely brilliant and weren't sometimes challenging. So we're going to have a look at 3 elements, well, I guess 2 really, his rhythm playing, and I'll do the lesson today, which will cover a whole lot of ground with his rhythm playing and hopefully give you everything you need to be prepared to tackle any Johnny Cash song in the Luther Perkins style. And then the next lesson will be a Johnny Cash song. Okay, so I'll just tab something. I haven't decided what yet, so maybe you guys can let me know what you would like in the comments. And then the third element will be one of his guitar solos, and we'll talk a little bit about how he constructed his solos. Before I go any further, I've got to thank a couple guys for jumping on the Patreon. If you aren't a Patreon and you'd like to become a Patreon, when you join, you can access all the transcriptions for these videos. And it's also just obviously a way to support me with making these videos and you know, my household, so to speak. We're actually at 94 members, so I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting to that 100 mark. It's you know, been a lot of work, but that's definitely been a benchmark on the horizon, and it's getting very close. So Kevin Alexandrowich, thank you for returning. Donnie Brook, Jay Polhine, Jeff Chacon, I hope I've said that right, and Michelle Bulens. Okay. Yeah, and of course, if you are a member, you get to access the Discord as well, which is a really cool little community of people, obviously into all the music that I'm doing videos on. That's where they've all come from, obviously. And you can also have a crack at the Mystery Brain Echo contest. I might extend that out to the start of May, because people are still just starting to get their submissions in. So yeah, you can check that out on my channel. And before I get into the actual exercises, I thought I'd quickly talk about the guitar tone for this lesson. You guys know I like playing hollow bodies. For Luther Perkins stuff, I probably would lean towards something a bit more solid for a little bit more attack. But having said that, I did a lot of gigs with the Gibson 175 playing the Sun Records stuff, and it sounded great doing the Johnny Cash tunes and that Luther Perkins style anyway. So it's really up to you. I do prefer the bridge pickup for that sound. And I also tend to, you know, on your amp, you might want to bring up the treble and the mids a little bit to just get a little bit more, again, attack, okay? I'm also using the Mystery Brain Echo right now. I've got a little bit of slapback. In terms of your slapback settings, just a very subtle, I'm not sure how well that's coming through, but it's just the tiniest little bit of slapback. Yeah, I'll do a tone tutorial for the Patreons, but I wanted, you know, everyone to have a bit of a listen to what I think about getting that particular Luther Perkins sound. Otherwise, guys, so much of it is just in the playing. The sound, you might be hearing it different, and it's extremely subjective, but these ideas that are being played, I think they're more important in getting that across. So let's get into the lesson and see how you go. Okay. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all those things with the video. That really helps. Okay, so exercise 1 looks like this. All right, let me do that a little slower. Now you're probably thinking that doesn't really sound like a Johnny Cash song specifically, and that's because it's not. This exercise here is designed to sort of get you ready for all the different chords and patterns that get used in Luther Perkins style. For example, if we're playing an A chord, just like this, so we go second fret, second fret, second fret, just in case you're quite a beginner, that's okay. We pick the 5th string, we pick the 4th string, we pick the 6th string, we pick the 4th string. Now, I've given you 1 bar of that pattern in the exercise, but you might like to practice just repeating that for a while. Now, 2 other things that we can do with just this one single bar, okay? You'll notice I'm holding the A chord, but I wasn't strumming the whole chord. What we can do is actually pick a little harder on that 4th string and push through to the 3rd string, so we get this. Okay, now one other thing, if we want that more tighter sound, we want a palm mute. So we bring the palm across the bridge like that, like a karate chop, roll down, and you get that slightly muted sound. If you're finding it's too muted, just slide, towards your picking hand elbow. So that way. That way, if you're left-handed, you just go the other way. So yeah, we just want to go that way a little bit. So if it's dead, dead, too dead, slide that way. There it is, bang. Sweet spot. Okay. So the reason I mentioned picking 2 strings, but don't specify that you have to pick 2 strings, is there's a little bit of both going on in Luther Perkins playing. Sometimes he's hitting 2 strings, sometimes he's just hitting both. Some songs, he's got moments where he's not even actually palm muting. Okay, so good to practice all 3 elements, just picking the basics. Okay, strumming. And palm muting, and both variations, basic and strum. So, okay, so everything we talked about with that, you can apply to the next, all the exercises. Okay, but let's continue with exercise 1 with the different chords that I played. So the reason I use these different chords was just to highlight the different elements. So when we're picking the D chord, it's a slightly different pattern. We're picking from the 4th string, strumming or picking from the 3rd, and then we're coming back to the 5th, and then we're coming back to the 3rd. If you're not familiar with the D chord, open 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and we can hold that 2nd fret on the 1st string. But you could also get away with not using that if you don't want to. You could pretty much just hold, maybe these 2, and just keep your strumming nice and tight. So again, that pattern is, it's different strings. We can't just use the same strings with the different chord. And then the other chord that we might come across is a chord where we're starting on the 6th string. Okay, so this is an E chord. Okay, so we're going 6, and then E chord is open 2nd, 2nd, and 1st fret there on the 3rd string. So all notes wise, E, B, E, and a G sharp there. Okay, so we hit the 6, we strum the middle 2, or we pick the 4th string. We might do it with the strum, muted without the strum. Okay, so, and then the next chord is a C, which this pattern is exactly the same with the right hand as what we did for the A chord. We're going 5th, 4th, 6th, 4, or if we want to strum a little, we can do that. But what you'll find here that makes things a little bit more complicated is we need to alternate that 3rd finger on the left hand. Okay, so that adds an extra element of challenge. We get this with any chord that we start on the 5th string. Any chord that you start on the 5th string, as a so for example, C, B7, we would need to do that, bring that 2nd finger over. Or if we were doing a bar chord like this, we would need to bring that finger over. Okay, so that's an added element that even though we're picking the same as what we were for A, something needs to change with the left hand. So it's still a little bit more complicated. Now, again, if you want to get really competent at all of these things fairly quickly, this exercise will really challenge you, but you could put it all together like I did when I first played it. So it's not a bad little progression on its own. Okay, so that exercise in itself will have you very prepared to play anything Luther Perkins throws at you, posthumously, if that made sense. Exercise 2, I've pretty much just incorporated a bar chord. So it doesn't really get any more complex from here for the right hand. Actually, no, that's a lie. It does a little bit. But there's some things that I guess go on with the left hand that can be a little bit trickier. So in terms of a bar chord, playing an A bar chord, so 5, 7, 7, 6, 5, 5 by barring. I'm just now that the A is here, it's going to be the root 6 pattern, which just means we're starting on the 6th string. So we need to go so exercise 2 goes like this. Okay, so not too complicated, but we just have to obviously incorporate bar chords here. How do you know what to pick or which string to start with when you're holding a chord? For example, if I'm holding an E, how do I know to start on the 6th string? Best tip is try to at least understand the root note of each chord. So if I'm playing an E chord, there's an E, the E note at the bottom. Okay, generally the lowest note of the chord is your root note. A, we want to start on A. C, we want to start on C. Okay, so it's basically the lowest note of the chord the way you would normally play it, and then we would often need to find a note lower, for example, if we're on that 5th string, which can be found just by moving straight across like that. Okay, another example might be a G chord. That's the G. Okay, it doesn't really matter too much about the shape. When it's from the 6th string, we don't have to move anything around. And then if it's from the 4th string, like for example an F chord, we still need to grab that adjacent note. So hopefully that covers most things there. Coming back to exercise 2, we had the A chord, the 5, 7, 7, 6, 5, 5, and we're just picking from the 6th string because that's the lowest note, and we do that particular pattern we did from E before. So 6, middle 2, 5, middle 2. For D, it's on the 5th string, so now we need to get this bar chord happening, 5, 7, 7, 7. Then we just slide it up 2 for the E, repeat the same thing. Okay, I've just doubled the bars for the length of the bars there and repeated them to give you, ideas that you can practice these however you like. So that's exercise 2. We're going to, my voice probably just got really loud then. We're going to move a little quicker now, so because that covers the bulk of what you need to do to play rhythm like Luther Perkins. Exercise 3, I'm incorporating some of the bass notes. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, straight into exercise 4. I probably could have made this one exercise going backwards. Oh, hang on. Okay, so this is a big part of Luther Perkins playing, is just little bass lines that are thrown into the songs that are really cool. They can be a little difficult to time correctly when you first do them, but once you get them and you can hear them in your head, they're quite easy to throw in. So exercise 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, dum. And then exercise 4. Okay, so all I'm doing is, if I'm in the key of C, for example, I'm going to play 1, 2, the 3 notes that lead to that in that particular key. So you can probably work this one out by ear if you don't have any theory grounding or don't know the notes. So in this case, I'm going G, A, B, and then I'm ready to go. Okay. And what I did in exercise 4 to go backwards was start on the root note at the beginning of the bar, 1, 2, and walk backwards down the scale to the chord that I wanted to go to. If I wanted to go to a different chord, you might try to just use the scale differently to time your landing on the root note of that chord. What I mean by that is if we're doing C and I want to go to an F, for example. Okay, actually that's quite a convenient one. I didn't actually put that in there, but here's another one for free. 3, 3, 0, 2, 3. Okay. And I could go backwards same way. You don't have to use that many notes. I used less that time because it just felt right. I just did the 0, 2, 3 because I came a little bit later into that bar. If I wanted to go to F lower down, how would I do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so I just made up a bass line there that happened to land me in the right spot. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It was all about getting that low E to set me up for the low F that I want to use for that version. Okay, I'm just making this up on the spot, but the whole point is you can make it up on the spot too, or play around with it a little bit and find your own ideas. So that was exercise 3 and 4, kind of incorporated. Check out obviously your transcription if you've got it. And so for exercise 5, I want to talk about the double pick. Okay, so and there's sort of two ways this comes out in his playing, in Luther's playing, and in exercise 6 I'll illustrate the other way. So exercise 5, you can use this for any of the patterns where you go. This gives a real nice clip clop. A lot of the time you don't really need to do this because if you've got an acoustic player strumming along, it was actually Johnny Cash doing that often gave the impression of this happening. But if you really dig in and listen, every now and then Luther Perkins is doubling up on that 4th string think of it as 2 bass notes alternating with like a middle note. He's alternating on that middle note. So the 2 bass notes being, and that 4th string being what I just made up as being the middle note. So how you do that, you pick down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. The alternate, the down, up, very important. Don't try and double pick it down. Just difficult, and it just won't sound right, okay? Put in a little bit of time, you'll get that flow. Okay, so that's exercise 5. I'll just do that really slow. And exercise 6 is where we incorporate a little bit of a strum into this. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and... Okay? So what I'm actually doing there, I'm picking the 5th string, I'm picking the 4th with a little bit of aggression to get the 3rd string. I've put all of these in brackets, a lot of the extra notes, because you might not always get everything perfect. You might pick down, just pick that on its own. And then you might pick, say, up on the 3rd and 2nd, like... That's fine. If you want to make it a bit broader, so I'm actually hitting the 2nd string upwards now. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So it's up to you how much you want to open that up or keep it tight. You can strum all of the strings from the 4th string up. Okay, so that's obviously with the C chord, but you could do that with any of the things that we've done. Okay, any of the chords we've done, you can incorporate these techniques. So I hope you've enjoyed. Make sure you're subscribed and everything, and keep an eye out for the next video. What would you like to see? What Johnny Cash song or Luther Perkins song would you like me to do a transcription of? Because it won't take me too long. I can put something together hopefully by next week and have another lesson out not too far down the track. Guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I'll play you out and catch you in the next video. See you next time.